Hello, fellow plant lovers. Mike's Greenhouse here. Thank you for everybody who's come along. Mike's Greenhouse here. Thank you for everybody who's come along. Sorry, I've got. There we go. Oh, what's happening? Sorry, I've got the video playing in the back. There we go. Sorry about that. So I had a video playing in the background. Right. So yeah, thank you to everybody who's come along. Sorry, I was slightly late starting there. I was trying to make a cup of tea, but the kettle wasn't boiling fast enough. Thank you, Monty. Yeah, so to start the stream off, I thought I'd just show everybody a few of the things that I bought in Poundland yesterday. So firstly, I bought this pressure sprayer. So obviously, as every gardener knows, when you get aphids and stuff, it's really difficult to properly control them and deal with them. And obviously, using your soapy water and stuff like that, or your liquid Deris, it works, but it's not always the greatest thing to do just with a watering can. So hopefully with this, it was only £1, so if it doesn't work, it doesn't really matter. Hopefully with this, I'll be able to control my pests in the greenhouse a little bit better. So this is the first thing I bought. So let's see who is here. So I think Tom Harry's here, Ray's Homegrown Veg Garden is here, My Family Garden's here, Jim Bob's here, Rachel Jane's Allotment is here. Thank you very much for everybody who's come along. Yeah, it's really good. I've already tried it out in the cactus greenhouse. Basically, you just pump the top like that, put pressure on it, and then just literally pull that. Quite a cool piece of kit for £1. And then I saw these. So there's some little hanging pots. I think I mentioned them yesterday. And I couldn't resist these. I had to get them because I thought these would be absolutely perfect to hang around in my greenhouse or just off trees with flowers and succulents and stuff coming out of them. So yeah, good thing I didn't have water in it. Yeah. Yeah, so these are brilliant little things. So I bought 5 of these. They're all £1, so I'm probably gonna have a few of them in the house with some succulents in, things like that. And next thing I bought is a jumbo garden bag. So normally when I've got rubbish and weeds and stuff in the greenhouse, as I mentioned yesterday, I'm pretty awful for weeding. I won't do it for a while, and then one day that's what I'll do. So I will have a load of weeds all of a sudden, and it can be a bit difficult to deal with. So I'll just sort of take it out so you can see what it looks like. Oh wow, it's quite big. This will definitely, this will definitely catch all of the weeds. So then I can just, take these up to the chicken pen, because that's what I've been doing lately with the majority of the weeds I've been getting is pulling, taking them all up to the chicken pen, because the chickens absolutely love to peck around in that, and it also attracts other bugs which the chickens can eat. So that's been their favorite lately, is when I take up some weeds, especially if any of the weeds have flowers or seed heads on them. It's a nice treat for them. The next thing I bought, I won't take this one out, but it's a polytunnel cloche. There you go, if you can see that. There we go. So polytunnel cloche, I'm hoping to put this on my raised bed that I've already got set up. However, if I don't have, if it's too big for that raised bed, then I'm going to be putting this on a raised bed that I will be building very soon out of some pallets outside. So next, I bought some citrus drip feeders. There we go. Basically, for anybody who doesn't know how these work, got drip feeders going everywhere now. So for anybody who doesn't know how these work, you cut or pull the bottom piece off here, and then I think it's over 15 days this will drip feed your plants. I really recommend them for orchids, but also if anybody's got a greenhouse citrus, indoor citruses, things like that, highly recommend using these, because my citrus seems to never be happy with whatever feed I get for them, because they do like a really specialized feed. So hopefully I'll be able to give them the right feed if I use some of these. And again, for only £1, everything I bought was £1. So for £1, you can't go wrong. Hello, Abandoned City Camo Crew Explorers. Thank you very much for coming along. So how is everybody then? I've got a few more things to show you, but just while I talk to the chat a minute and pick these up. They're really, yeah, Rachel Jane. So basically mine's gone, like the leaves have gone quite yellow now. Not like badly yellow, but you can see like the spine of the leaves and all bits coming off of it, which is normally a sign of different deficiencies. So I thought, okay, then I'll give it a good feed. I gave it a feed and it did not improve at all. And I gave it quite a long time and fed it, quite a lot, but it did not improve at all. It stayed in that same state. So what I've sort of established is that, sort of worked out, is that for citrus, most things you can get away with just using multi-purpose feed, but there are some things, and in my case, I found it's citrus, that do need a specialized feed directed towards them. Another one is cactus. You can get away with using the multi-purpose fertilizers, but I highly recommend you get proper cactus fertilizer, because cactus don't need that much nutrients. If you give them too much nutrients, they literally swell up and then they look just, well, less natural, and they tend to just look really horrible because they bloat up trying to suck in all of the nutrients. Jim Bob, I don't know if they'd be in all Poundlands, but there were 1.5 aisles in my one, and outside there were loads of plants that were also £1. However, there were no plants that I needed. About a month ago, there were some plants in my local Poundland. There were loads of fruit bushes that were all £1, but unfortunately somebody got there before me. So Abandoned City Camo Crew is saying all god peas are done. Loads strawberries and everything else coming on nicely. Very good. Yeah. So Abandoned City Camo Crew Explorers is saying to Jim Bob's Greenhouse Adventures that everyone that he's been to has had a garden section. Yeah. Some might have more variety than others, but the main things that they have are pots, trays, fertilizers, very bog standard seeds. They don't have any special things like mimosa. Actually, that's a lie. They did have Mimosa pudica seeds, or the sensitive plants. So if you're looking for those, Jim Bob, I recommend going there, because I know the other day I think you said you were interested in getting some. So they've got that. That's the only like different type of uncommon type of seed they have. The rest of the seeds they sell are just your bog standard, like your peas, sunflowers, things like that. I've not tried any of the seeds, so I can't recommend them, but I think Jim Bob's used some cheaper seeds like that before, and he said they were fine, so I'm sure they will be fine. And to be fair, you'll probably get more seeds than Mr. Fothergills, because I've been having some issues with them lately. I don't know if anybody else has, but I seem to get not that many seeds anymore and pretty bad success rates. So my family garden's saying that his pumpkins and squash are really struggling this year. Well, my pumpkins and squash really suffered last year. I put them in grow bags. I was feeding them and watering them, regularly as I should be, but they'd form a fruit and lose the fruit, which is normally because they don't have enough nutrients. But no matter what I did, they didn't do very well last year. So I think that's another thing that I'm going to be putting in raised beds at some point, so that I can really get the soil just right for them and sort of dedicate that area to them, so I can get the soil just how they like it, which is the great thing about raised beds. Obviously, you do want to change around your crops, because otherwise you're going to have, you develop things like club root with some plants and all sorts of diseases, and they'll just take out specific nutrients from the soil. So obviously you do want to rotate your crops. However, if you can get your soil for 1 year really specific to a plant that's normally difficult to grow, then it's way better than just using a grow bag, which is more multi-purpose. For example, if you've got a plant that needs a lot of drainage, you can make a pot or a raised bed up that's specifically got good drainage and say not many nutrients because that's what it likes, or lots of nutrients, and then you can control specifically what it wants. And obviously next year, say you want to grow some tomatoes there, so you sort of add some more nutrients in, dig it over, put cow manure and horse manure and stuff like that in it. But that's why I like using raised beds. Yeah, so Jim Bob's Greenhouse Adventures is saying all the cheap seeds that he's used have come up. That's good. Yeah, I couldn't get cucumbers to grow either. Abandoned City Camo Crew. I've had a bit of a few issues with those. I think I sold 1 or 2 to Jim Bob and they were fine, but the ones that I kept myself, they did not do well at all. They really struggled, and they're either dead or dying at this point. So Jim Bob's Greenhouse Adventures is saying Mr. Fothergill's seeds are really bad at the moment. He doesn't know if it's got something to do with the plants they've been harvesting from, or whether they've cut back on their expenditure. So Abandoned City Camo Crew saying use fish bone and chicken pellets to put on the soil. Yeah, that's another great one for increasing the nutrients of your soil. So I'll get back onto showing you some of the other things that I bought. So I also bought some bone meal, slow release fertilizer, ready to use. It was £1 for 750 grams, and I've needed some bone meal since early this year because I ran out. So I thought for £1 might not be the greatest quality, however, bone meal is bone meal. So I'll just see whether it is better than or just as good as the really expensive stuff you get in garden centres, because it does look, it's looking pretty similar. I won't open it up actually because I don't want to get bone meal everywhere. And some Grow More fertilizer, multi-purpose plant food 777. Again, ready to use. Has a top dressing or base dressing. So obviously you can add this in or put this in before you plant your plants. Put your plants in, sorry. And again, 750 grams for only £1. So yeah, so Jim Bob's Greenhouse Adventures is saying that his cucumbers are really motoring at the moment. That's good. You got any fruit on them yet? No, it isn't. I do have some soluble liquid fertilizer downstairs, but these are literally just the pellets that you sort of put on top, and then the nutrients sort of go down into the soil. But no, I do have some Tesco's value stuff that I got, again, just because I'm just going to see whether using the cheaper fertilizers is any different to using the expensive ones. I'm sure it's probably not as good, but if I don't know, I don't try. If I don't try, I don't know, sorry. So we've been going for 14 minutes. We've got 4 people here and 7 likes. I also bought a new nozzle for my hose pipe. So before now, if I wanted to water an area of plants, I'd just sort of put my finger like that over the edge of the hose pipe. But I've now got one with, I think I've got 7 different modes of it on it. So I've got, I think it's called sprinkler, mist, straight, which is again a mist. No, it's not. sorry, that's line mist. So there's line mist, which literally mist in a line. There's straight, which is just like a normal hose pipe. Jet, which is just a bit more powerful again. There is dome, which I quite liked using. It's basically, so the other sprinklers sort of just go like that, whereas the dome is just a really spread out sprinkler. And again, it mists them. So it's perfect for the seedlings and stuff that I've been growing. There was a few other things. I can't quite remember all the modes on it. That was £1 in Poundland, because I've been looking at those in other places and they've been £14. Obviously, the quality of that's probably not as good and it will most likely break. However, for £1, I don't mind if it does break, to be honest. I can replace that very easily for £1. And I also bought some attachment bits for £1 so that I could actually use it. The only thing I can say about actually getting the nozzle attachment set up or the sprinkler bit set up is make sure it's really fastened in tightly. So you can sort of push it in there and screw it on it and it looks like it's fine, but you need to push it in as far as it will go, because otherwise it will just shoot out and you'll get soaked. I found that one out the hard way. Yes, you can get liquid grow more. I think you can. I'll just check what I've got downstairs because I think that's a liquid grow more. I'll be right back. I'll show you then as well. I was actually wrong. I didn't have liquid grow more. I did have liquid miracle grow. I assume you can get liquid grow more. I think it's something I've seen recently. However, I could be wrong. But yeah. Hello, Poppy. Dogs have decided to join me. The Real Brooklyn's here. Hello, thank you very much for coming along. Really appreciate it. You coming up? Come on then. Good boy. Yeah, so this is Bilbo. He's very soppy. He's only here because my mum's not in yet. As soon as my mum gets in, that's it. He'll be with my mum then, because yeah, he prefers her to the rest of us. So today I've been measuring rivers, which was quite cool, in Cardinham Woods. So we were measuring the width and depth of rivers, and then the speed at which the rivers travel. And then obviously, no, he's not a working dog. This one's definitely nothing like a working dog at all. None of them are proper working dogs, but this one is just a house dog, whereas Poppy will actually go outside and sort of help me round up chickens and stuff. But that's the closest thing she does to work, is rounding up chickens at night. Yeah. But this one's just really soppy. He's just the cuddle dog, even though he's the heaviest dog we have. Okay, Bilbo. Good boy. I need to get another chair for him because he actually sits on chairs. It's really funny. So if he's ever going to be here again, I'll get a proper chair for him to sit on. Just checking I didn't miss anything when I went downstairs. Nope, doesn't look like I did. That's good. So we've been going for about 20 minutes now. 4 people here, 7 likes. If you haven't already, please remember to hit the like. It really helps me, and I really appreciate it. So another project that I've got planned for relatively soon is, thank you, Abandoned City Camo Crew, really appreciate it. So another project I've got planned for very soon is to clear out one of the, well, all of the beds in front of my greenhouse, because I've cleared out one before and I sort of put a load of bulbs and stuff in it, but then the dogs completely trampled that area. So I'm planning on using that area again and completely clearing out a long strip along there, because currently I've not got that much cleared out. However, I'm hoping to clear out a lot more so I can use that as a one long raised bed, in which case, if I can actually do that, because there are quite a few trees and stuff in the way, but I'll remove any bushes that I can and all the weeds and stuff. So I'd like to then have maybe some fruit bushes there. However, obviously they do need a lot of sunlight, so I might have to rethink that one, because there are still a lot of trees there. But perhaps just some, vegetables, lettuce and things like that don't mind being shaded. I'll have to do a bit of research into that, because currently it's just an idea. But it is something I would definitely like to do soon, is to completely clear out that front area. Even if I just have some flowers there, it's just using that area so that it doesn't get taken over completely by weeds and by the dogs, which is another thing, is stopping the dogs from destroying it in the first place. Just going to open a window. It's a bit hot now. So another thing that I haven't shown anybody yet is this orchid that I bought the other day. It was £2, I believe, in a clearance. So I bought it, potted it up into a clear pot, because that's what orchids prefer. And I'm sort of nursing it back to health. It's looking a lot better from when I bought it. It was very yellow. I know you can't really see it at all because the lighting in here isn't the greatest. But yeah, so for only £2, I was really happy with that. So I've been looking to get an orchid for a while, but all the ones I see, if they are discounted, they're like half dead or just aren't quite what I want. Some of them are just too small and still too expensive, even though they're discounted. While others just are way too big. I sort of want something in between, which is what I've currently got, and that's working quite well for me. So hopefully that will survive and it won't die. But I have no experience of growing orchids other than what other people have told me. So I'll just have to wait and see. So I'm hoping tonight that I can pick up I can't remember what it's called now. 2 minutes. A lemon pekin cockerel. There's a lady near us who's got 6 or 7 of them that she's giving away, and I'm going to see if I can get one, and hopefully it'll be a nice temperament, and ideally it'll be like a complete wimp, just like my current cockerel, who I've decided to name Lenny. Why have I named him Lenny? Well, good question. I don't really know. That's just what he's called. Even though he certainly isn't the leader of the group, that would go to, again, I didn't name this. It's my hen, well, my pekin, one of my black pekins. My mum named her Mildred Hubble, and we know which one it is. Because the black pekins look exactly the same. However, their attitudes are completely different. So Mildred Hubble's really brave. There's another one which hasn't been named. It's just a complete coward and hides under the chicken house every time I go in. And the third one sort of just stays on her own, but isn't really afraid either. But I'd say Mildred Hubble is definitely the leader of the flock. Hello, Barbara's allotment. Thank you very much for coming along. Really appreciate it. I decided to do another little live today. Don't know how long I'll be going for, because at some point I am going to be going to pick up these lemon pekins. Well, this lemon pekin cockerel. But hopefully Lenny and this other lemon Peking cockerel will get on all right, so I won't have to remove them, purely because Lenny is a complete wimp, and hopefully this other one isn't too aggressive, because if it is, then I'll just have to get rid of it, because, well, we've had really aggressive cockerels in the past that we haven't got rid of, but it's easier just to get rid of him and get a new one, because it's so easy to just lose your interest in keeping chickens if you've got a really nasty cockerel. So I'm just going to play it safe and try and find nice cockerels. So I'll have a look at what they're like today, and hopefully if they're good temperament, I'll have one to be showing you soon. And we think that 2 cockerels we find in the flock, purely because of how much space they have. They can sort of go away from each other. But, you know, if not, that's fine. I can always get rid of one or get a new pen set up for this cockerel and move a few hens in there, which is also a possibility, because I do have another house and I do have some spare rent defense. So I could possibly make a completely different pen for some other hens that if I ever get any. So the 2 cactus lights are back. I've just realized I forgot to turn this one on. There we go. So yesterday's live stream went on for about 2.5 hours, and we sort of finished that live stream talking about video games. Funny enough, that topic does come up quite a lot in some of my live streams. I know one with Jim Bob, we talked for a very long time about different video games and stuff. I think in the end we finished off talking about which games we prefer, and we settled on Halo Reach. So that was an interesting conversation yesterday, and hopefully we'll have a nice conversation or two today. So I have already put the new hosepipe attachment on that I bought, so that's why I've not showed you. Although I will say that I enjoy watering my plants a lot more now. I have to admit, I spent about an hour last night after the live stream playing around with this new hosepipe attachment. Well, yeah, I don't know whether it's any good or not. I think it's quite good. It's got lots of different attachments. It's certainly good on all the aspects other than durability. I don't know whether it's going to be durable or not. So, I'll have to sort of monitor that one. But I'm hoping it looks quite sturdy. So I'm hoping that it will be relatively durable so that it doesn't break. But obviously I will just be careful with it and make sure I don't drop it at all. But for £1, if the hosepipe attachment does break, it really doesn't matter. I'll just buy a £15 one from our shop because I know that won't break so quickly. Just checking I haven't missed anything. Oh yeah, so also I'll move this back now. Somebody commented on the Rubik's Cube yesterday whether I can solve it or not. So I had one side solved, and I decided to annoy everybody to change it away. But I'll put it back. Well, I'll put it on that side. I did start solving that one after the stream, but I can't go any further than that. Not because I can't work it out, because my sister changed all the stickers on it, so it's physically impossible to get it back after this point. And I have had that double checked with a Rubik's Cube Master. So it will just sort of stay half completed. All right, cheers, Abandoned City Camo Crew. Thank you very much for coming along. Really appreciate it. Have a good day. So what has everybody else been up to today? And who's still here? I think, is it Rachel, Jane, and Barbara, I think, are here. Don't know if Jim Bob's still here. Jim Bob, you here? Anybody else that's here? Feel free to say hello. Okay, so Rachel Jane's still here. Thank you very much. So Barbara's allotment is asking, what is a decent but not expensive camera with a flip screen that she could use to film her videos? Very good question. I've been looking at a few on the internet myself, on eBay and things like that. However, I recommend, because I almost got caught out of this a while ago. I have been looking at them a while, and I've been talking to a few people. The best thing I can recommend to you is don't buy one online, because they'll say anything to sell it. Your best bet is to try and find an actual camera store nearby. Obviously, it will be more expensive, but you can say, so I film gardening videos on YouTube, so I'm outside a lot. So I need something that can still focus on me, and pick up good sound, have good sound pickup and things like that. And that way you'll be able to select the correct camera for you, so that you've not just got any old camera somebody's given to you. You've got the right camera for what you want to be doing. However, if you don't want to do that, if you don't, because it will cost more money, obviously, to buy one in a proper shop, go on YouTube. I'd say £70 or above. Anything below that is going to be awful quality, and it will look like you're filming with a potato. So I recommend £70 or above for a flip screen camera, and obviously a tripod as well. You can get a decent tripod for about £20 to £30. I bought one for 14 quid and it broke. So the thing that I tend to do is I go the middle of the road. I don't go too cheap and I don't go too expensive. I get something that's in between. And normally you've got the durability of the expensive one, but the price, but like a more neutral price. Obviously, it's not going to be as good as the more expensive one. However, it will do what you want it to do just fine. I don't know where my old tripod is, but basically the bit that actually holds the camera completely popped off one day, so that it can't be used anymore, which is a shame, because it happened just before I got an attachment for this tripod that can actually be taken off. Because that was the main thing. The reason why I couldn't use it was because I didn't have the right attachment for it that would hold my phone. But I've got this one now that came with this tripod. But to be honest with you, I just use my phone currently until I find a good camera. And even then, my phone camera quality isn't that bad. Obviously, a camera would be a lot better. However, I've not had any issues using my phone camera. It has, good quality, well, decent quality for what I want to do with it. And it's got some nice features. Obviously, I don't have the luxury then of higher resolution, but it's got relatively good resolution. Like, even my computer camera is quite good, even though it shows on here as really grainy. I'm just looking at it on my phone, and the resolution's not that bad. So I think really, as long as you've got something that you can visibly see what is being recorded, perhaps you don't even need to upgrade. Yeah, Argos, that's a good one. Yeah, they'll have a decent one for sure. There's one near me in a market type thing, and I almost got one the other day, but the market was unfortunately shut. They've got a really good camera shop in there that have got good prices, but they've got a really good professional team who can talk to you and find the exact camera you want, and they've got a huge range. So that will be where I purchase a camera from if I do end up purchasing a camera. But I think for now, I'm just going to carry on doing my research until I find the right camera. Because if I can get it cheaper on eBay, then that's what I'm going to do. Do you know what I mean? However, again, if it's too cheap, it's probably going to be damaged or broken. So you've got to be careful with that. Yeah, PC World. Again, I got one near me, so and I got an Argos near me. So there's some things to check. Yeah, PC World would be the best one. Argos would probably be a bit cheaper, but PC World will have 8 different types of the camera you want. So yeah, I would recommend checking on there as well. That's where I got this computer from, actually. It's a gaming laptop, Inspiron 15 or something. But it's got a really good, because it's a gaming one, and I didn't plan this at the time, but because it's a gaming one, it's got a relatively good built-in camera. So I didn't have to buy one for a start, which is a bonus. But also, because it's all built in, it's just a lot easier, and it's relatively good because normally built-in cameras for computers are pretty awful. So I'm happy that this isn't too awful. And as well, on my end, it shows the lighting to be awful. It shows my face pale white, really grainy, and hard to read anything that's behind me. However, I'm just looking on my phone, and it looks relatively normal. Obviously, there is a bit of background light, but I think I can sort of fix that. I did try putting a towel or something on my window. I did it for yesterday's stream, but I couldn't get it to stay up there today. But hopefully I'll be able to get that to work for another live stream. Yeah, was it any good, Rachel? And do you have a flip camera then? I'm assuming. More money to spend in the garden, definitely, yeah. But to be honest with you, I'm quite happy with my phone camera for a minute, because obviously I would prefer to get a camera, but it's not an essential thing for me to get. There's a lot more things that are more essential for me to get, like getting the polytunnel, things like that I do want to focus on. Camera, it's on my list, and if eBay were to tell me that they've got loads of discounted cameras, I'd definitely buy one. But my main thing at the minute is so what's the sound like then on the flip camera then? Does it pick up sound relatively well? Because I do all of my editing and my recording on my phone. I know people don't normally admit that, but I do every bit of it really on my phone, and occasionally I upload it from my computer, depending on how much time I have and where I am. Obviously, if I'm in school, I'll edit it and upload it in school. But if I can, I do like to just upload it. So you can only hear the person holding it. So if I were to stand like a couple meters in front of it, you wouldn't be able to hear it. Oh, well, that's good to know. And it is good if you're like doing the vlog style things, or just walking around with the camera. However, I do like to do a few things where I'm sort of away from the camera, talking on occasion. So, like I said, I'll just keep searching until I find the right camera for me. Yeah, you could just get a mic. That would solve your problems. There we go. I think that sort of fixed the lighting problem now with putting the curtain back there. So Barbara's allotment is saying she's got subject change. She's got 6 cauliflowers getting big. Yeah, I didn't grow any cauliflowers or anything this year or last year. Don't know why. I just decided not to. I think it's mainly just because I don't have the time or the space to grow them, because most of my things are very temporary things. Other than the strawberries and my few raspberry bushes that I have, everything is sort of grown that year and gone again. Anything that takes longer than that, I haven't really got into yet, purely because I don't have that much space. Unless it's going to be permanently there, I don't tend to bother with it for things. If it's going to take a long time, I won't bother. But if it's permanently there, I don't mind putting it there. I know that sounds silly, but that's just how I've been doing the garden for a while. Well, I say for a while, for the last year, and it does seem to work. There we go. So we are losing people quickly. So I probably won't go on for too much longer. We had quite a few people at the start, but I understand this isn't the greatest time to do a live stream. So we've sort of lost people as we've gone along, but that's fine. So we've got 2 people in here now, 9 likes, and we've been going for 40 minutes. So I'll leave it a minute or two longer just in case anybody else joins. But I certainly had a good turnout. First of all, the initial turnout was very good. My phone's giving me a notification that I'm going live, just in case I didn't know that I'd already gone live. Oh, there we go. So we're back up to 3 people. That's all right then. I'm just going to try and sort out this lighting issue. Let's see if I can. The sun is shining through a bit much. There you go. I think that would have fixed it, hopefully. I don't know how that's looking now on your end. Whether that's... Yeah, it is about that time as well, yeah. There we go, we've got somebody else here. Hello, thank you very much for coming along, Sota Marfan. Thank you very much. Yeah, this isn't the greatest time to do a live stream, really, because there's people coming home from work and people eating at this time. But hey, I'm very good, thanks. How are you? So another thing that I've recently purchased was I can't quite remember the name of it. I think it's called Scaredy Cat or something. Basically, it's a plant that when cats and stuff brush past it, it gives off a really potent smell that the cats don't like, and I certainly didn't like either. It was horrible. In the hopes that I'll stop my cat from going on to some of my beds and pooing on them, because it's really annoying. I've just planted I've just planted it completely a seed, and then he's pooed right in the middle of it. And obviously, oh, hi, Ollie. Yeah, thanks for coming along. Yeah, so I've been going for 43 minutes now. Got 4 people here and 9 likes. If you haven't already hit the like, please do remember to hit the like. I really appreciate it, and it really does help my channel out. It's annoying though, because the cat comes in, got a big bed, and he'll poo one bit that I can't reach. So that's all I can smell, because he has really disgusting poos as well. So I'm hoping that this plant, I'll sort of take some cuttings from it, because it wasn't cheap either. It was relatively expensive. Take some cuttings of it, sort of spread them around my garden in the hopes that it will just deter the cat from coming in. But it might not do anything. But I didn't like the smell of it, so the theory is the cat won't either. I've grown loads of other plants in different areas that attract cats, but that's one of the cats that I don't want. One of the places I don't want the cat to go. But there are places that I don't mind him going, because unfortunately that is the only way to get out is through my bit. So that means he has to do a poo somewhere in my bit, and then I have to clear it up, which is lovely. So Rachel Jane's allotment saying that stray cats keep going on in her garden. Oh no, you stepped in some. That's even worse, because cat poo stinks compared to dog poo. Cat poo really smells, and you can't really use it in the garden either, because it carries disease and stuff. So yeah, but it's definitely got a really potent smell, and I'm certainly not a fan of it. So I'm getting quite close now to 350 subscribers, which is good. I'm hoping that in a few weeks I'll hopefully reach that 350 mark. It's not that big of a milestone. 500 subscribers is what I'd like to hit maybe this year if I'm lucky. So Sotum Marfan is saying that he's glad his cat doesn't do that. Yeah, I bet you are. It's really annoying. And I don't want to scare him because he is a really old cat. So I don't want to put any things that scare cats away. I just want to deter him from going. So Barbara's allotment saying she'd rather put up with cat poo than foxes digging massive holes in her raised beds and burying a decomposing rat for you to find. Yeah, the closest thing I have to a digging fox is my dog Poppy. She loves to dig. She hasn't done it for a while, thankfully. That's the main reason why I sort of put in that fence as the gate to stop her from coming up onto my bit and digging plants up, because that's what she would do every single day. She'd either go in my greenhouse, dig in there, or go somewhere outside and dig in there, which is also why I've got a wire door on my greenhouse, was to keep her out, but still have it so the door's open. Because she's dug a 2-foot deep hole before now in my greenhouse, right underneath all of my tomato plants, and ended up killing 2 or 3 of them, and I only had 4, so it wasn't the greatest. So Rachel Jane saying that her mum gave her some powder. You mix with water and water everything with to deter them, but she needs to Google the ingredients first. Oh, you don't think you're going to use it? Does it have some? That's fine. Thank you very much for coming along, Ollie. Really appreciate it. Have a good day. Cheers. I think I should probably remove this label. It would help. But yeah, so I've got quite a few projects now planned to be, Ardum. And I'm hoping that the little hanging pots I bought, these, I'm hoping that some succulents will grow really nicely in them. However, I've just noticed they don't have any drainage holes. So I might have to go with a drill and just very delicately drill a hole in the bottom, or maybe just some on the sides. There's a little bit of where water can sit in the bottom, because especially for succulents and cacti and things like that, they need a lot of drainage. And if there's no drainage holes, I'm not going to achieve that. So I'll have to very carefully drill some holes in these, but hopefully they'll still, be fine and I don't ruin them too much. I have seen another thing that somebody's done where they've got an old terracotta pot that looked quite disgusting, cleaned it, and then painted it and really nicely decorated it, and then it just really improves how they look then. If you even this just got some yellow paint on the bottom, even that has improved, and then obviously white paint at the top. That's improved how the pot looks compared to just plain terracotta. Some people like terracotta, I do as well. However, it's also nice to have a few that are a bit decorated, especially if it's done well. So it adds a bit of colour then to your garden. Well, yes, I could. However, cacti and succulents, they don't like to sit in water either. So even if I do, fill the bottom with gravel, eventually the roots will just go down, and cactus can't be in any water in the winter. They'll just succulents and cactus actually, they'll just die. So even if there's a small amount of water in the bottom, they can't have any because they'll just completely rot. So it's best just not to risk it. Barbara's allotment saying put masking tape on the pot first. That will stop it from slipping. Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you. But yeah, I'll have a look, or maybe I'll use a different plant that's less temperamental. I just thought these would look really nice for a succulent to permanently live in, because succulents don't really need that much space, especially if you pick the right ones. They won't outgrow it. Would be a good idea to take the lid off before I try and drink from it. So another thing I'm going to be trying quite soon is I spend a lot of time in the greenhouse or in the house, like here I am now, on my desk writing out plant labels. I've spent. That's not a bit big, Jim. It will last me though. I fill it up when I get home, and I don't have to fill it up again then. But it will just about last me to the end of the live stream, because for some reason I always drink loads during a live stream. I suppose it's because I'm talking, but I end up drinking loads. I think I do more drinking than actual talking. Yeah, welcome back, Jim, as well. But yeah, so it's slightly impractical for bringing into school, but perfect, if you're in the tractor or something as well, because then you don't have to stop to refill it or anything. If you can get the lid back on, there we go. So yeah, as I was saying, so I spend a lot of time writing out plant labels. And there was a nursery that I went to recently called Illand Nurseries. And they use a colour coding system. So I think blue is £4, and they've got different colours for a different price. Just open them up. So they are just painted lollipop sticks. But you can use these to color code. So that's going to be my plan. I'll sort of trial it out just with a few. I've got a load of plants to be going up to the shop very soon. So I bought 2 packets of these. So I'm just going to trial these to see, because some customers might make the mistake, a few mistakes, or just might not like it. Some customers might just struggle with the prices, which is fair enough. But hopefully this color coding system will work, in which case it will save a lot of time for me and a lot of money, because I go through plant labels like nothing. I do have Facebook, Barbara, yes. I think I'm in Monty's group as well, from My Family Garden. I think it's called Team Spanner or something. So I think anybody's welcome in that group as well, as long as you're part of the Facebook, YouTube community. Yeah, so I'm going to be trialing the color coding method. If it works, I will start, buy a load of these and do it for all of them. But for now, it will just be I'll just be trialing this to see whether it works or not, because it might just confuse. Yeah, that's fine, Barbara. Sure. I think my profile picture is just a picture of me and my dog, so. Yeah, so basically the plan with these is some I won't be using very often. I think purple will be really expensive, but I think I'll start. Blue will be £1, green £2, £3, £4, £5. You get the idea. And then for more expensive things, I might just write the label on, because I probably won't have that many really expensive things. Yeah, so that's another thing I need to trial. I've literally just bought them. So another thing I need to trial is what they've been actually painted with and whether they do run into the soil, like you're saying, and how long they last. They might be really cheap and just rot away straight away. It doesn't say. No, it doesn't actually say what it's painted with. So they could just run away into the soil and possibly be poisonous to the plants, which is again why I'll just be sort of trialing these. I'll stick them in a few pots maybe today or something and see how it goes. And then leave them in there for a month. If they've completely run away by that point, maybe I don't use it. Yeah, or they could just lose their colour. But it's just, an alternative method that I've been looking at. An alternative to this is buying plastic ones, which, to be fair, if I do if this does work, I will just buy the plastic ones. It's just, I saw these and I thought I'll just try it with these before I spend any money on plastic ones. I know plastic ones is awful. However, well, yeah, either that or I buy some little stickers. That's another idea, and color code them by sticker. So just like a little circular sticker on each pot, because they sort of pick it up, see the color, and then I'll have a thing in the shop, saying blue this and so on. Yeah, look, that's down to here already, Jim. And I filled that up at the beginning of the live stream, so I don't know if Jim Bob's still here. I think he's sort of in and out. A few people are in and out, I think, which is fine. Oh no, Jim Bob is still here. Yeah, very good. All you got to be careful with, Jim, is that chemical doesn't damage your plants in any way. Because there are some things like that they'll make the wood last, but that can run off into your plants, especially if they're an edible thing, and they can poison the plant. And then obviously if a person's going to eat loads of these that have had these sticks in, it can build up. So again, you might want to just trial it with a few and go like that. But if this does work, and I'm hoping it does. Oh, there we go. I've just got your friend request, Barbara. There we go. I've just accepted Barbara's friend request. I don't know if you're here yet, Barbara. There we go. Oh, yeah, you are here. That's good. It's a small bottle, Jim. What are you talking about? I know it's a bit eccentric. It's mainly for when I'm in the greenhouse. It's just I drink that much water when I'm doing a live stream because I'm talking. My mouth dries out. So instead of me running downstairs every 5 minutes, try and fill up the water, because that's what I was doing when I was on Monty's stream on Sunday evening. Every 5 minutes I'd go and get another glass of water. So when I'm on my own, I've just got this, and then I don't run out of water usually. However, I've only got about a third left, so I might have to just actually no. I'll just have to conserve my water. That'll be a defining feature of this channel. Just an absolutely massive water bottle while I'm doing a live stream. You know it's me then as well, yeah. I've got a giant water bottle. You know it's me. So I've almost been going for an hour now. I've got 10 likes, which has completely smashed yesterday's likes for the amount of time. I did 2.5 hours yesterday, and it wasn't till like the 1.5 to 2 hour mark that I actually got 10 likes, and I got 11 likes now. So there we go. Yeah, I've got with water. Some days I will drink nothing. I'll have 2 cups of teas, and that'll be the only thing I drink all day. Other days, like today and yesterday, I will drink loads and loads and loads and loads of water, and I don't really know why. Because it can be a really hot day and I'll drink nothing. It can be a really hot day and I'll drink loads, or cold day, vice versa. But this way, I shouldn't run out too much. So I've sort of established that Sunday evenings are definitely a very good time for me to do a live stream, and Saturday evenings, because most people are home on a Saturday evening and a Sunday, just a Sunday in general. I just need to find a better time for if I want to do a stream in the weekdays. I understand that if I do a stream in the weekdays, I'm not going to get as many people, although it would be nice to do them at different times so that viewers in America, say, will be able to catch me, and viewers in the UK will still be able to catch me as well, and other time zones. For example, Andrew Fishman in Australia, try him, being able to catch me at a decent time as well. So still got to sort of work on that time. But once I sort of find the good time for me to go live, because it was quite good for me at the start. However, it's 6 o'clock now and it is slowing down a little bit, but that's fine. There's a lot of good people in this stream, even though there's only 4 of you, but all 4 of you are good people. Actually, no, it's 3 because I'm watching on my phone, so I'm not going to compliment myself. So yeah, the 3 people that are here, I really appreciate you being here, because especially Rachel, Jane, and Barbara, you've been here the last stream I did as well for pretty much the entire streams. So I really appreciate that, and thank you for Jim Bob popping in as well here and there. I really appreciate you coming along to my streams, because you're my sort of regular people who come along to my streams, you 3, and there are others as well who come along. So I do really appreciate the support from you 3. Green Raven is here. That's another one who's comes along to quite a few of my streams. So thank you very much, Green Raven. Really appreciate you coming along. So it's 1 p.m. in the East Coast US. So you're home for lunch. So there we go. This is a decent time then, perhaps, to catch people. About 6 is about 1-ish in different parts of America, and obviously in the East Coast, it's 1 p.m. now at 6 o'clock. So maybe the next stream I do, I'll try starting that at 6. It's just today I am going to be going off and getting some lemon pekins at some point today. So I had to do a earlier stream, because normally I would do it, sort of be starting now, or in an hour's time I'd be starting. So Green Raven saying she scrolled past a couple times, is thinking, oh, this was the last live. Yeah, that's the thing. Because I've got this thumbnail that I've been putting onto all my lives now, I got confused earlier. I was like trying to start a live and saying, hang on a minute, it's saying the live's already started and it's finished, and it's been going for 2 hours. So that can't be right. And then of course I remembered that I'd already done one. So it is a little bit confusing having that thumbnail. It was, to be fair with you, the thumbnail I've been putting onto the live streams is one that I made in an IT lesson in my school, because it was just a free lesson, basically, because our teacher was away and we had a supply teacher who didn't know anything about it. He just said we could do whatever. So I wasn't allowed my phone, so I went onto Googled Mike's Greenhouse, found a few of my pictures from thumbnails and stuff, and sort of pasted them onto it. So I am going to make a more refined and better detailed version soon. However, yeah, it works for now as a little thumbnail. So Rachel James Allotment asking if I will put up a video of the new chickens. If I get any, I will put up a video. It will probably just be the cockerel, unless the lady has some other hens there that she's got for sale, in which case I'm likely to buy them as well because, well, yeah, that's just what I'm like. And I've got a broody hen as well. I'm not sure if the eggs are fertile yet, so I'm going to buy a hutch. If she's broody, I'm going to buy a rabbit hutch from our shop and keep her in there because it's safe then. And if they're not fertile, then I won't bother buying the hutch until I've got fertile eggs. I'm hoping that they are, so I'm just going to wait till she's been sat on them for a few days, and then I'll go there in the middle of the night with a torch to see whether there is anything inside. I think she's been sat on them for about 2 days now. Well, 1.5 days. So I'm hoping that soon I'll be able to see something when I put a torch towards it, in which case I'll know that it is a fertile egg. Or build one from pallets. Yeah, that's a good idea, Green Raven. Thank you. I'll have a look at some blueprints for that. Because I'm not the greatest at building things, so but I can probably sort of mirror how they're built, the rabbit hutch is built, and do something like that, because that's all I need is a rabbit hutch type thing. So, but yeah, that's a very good idea, Laura. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's something like 10 days, yeah. Yeah, about 10 days before you actually know whether there's anything in it. So I'll just have to be patient. I might separate her anyway, just because she's taking up one of the egg box spaces. And there is one chicken that is persistently laying in the one that she's in, and she hasn't laid since. So whether she is literally just laying them next to the chicken and the chicken's going on to those as well, I don't know. But I think that's upset one of the chickens. I don't know which one it is. I haven't spent a full day with them yet to actually know which hen is laying. Because as far as I know, none of my light Sussex are actually laying currently. But at the same time, they could be laying, and I just don't know about it. So I'll have to stay with them one day and just sort of watch them. So we've been going for 1 hour and 7 minutes. We've got 4 people here and 11 likes. Thank you very much, everybody. I've completely smashed my likes for yesterday, if you're going by time, that is. Because I certainly didn't have 11 likes yesterday when I'd been going for 1 hour and 8 minutes. So another thing that I'm going to be doing soon out of pallets is obviously building the raised bed. And I've seen a really good idea, or gotten a really good idea from, I think he's in a YouTuber in Australia, I think. I'll have to double check on that. He's called Self-Sufficient Me. Some of you might have heard of him. I think it's Australia or New Zealand. I think it's Australia. We'll go with Australia. And so he's bought just a normal raised bed, and he's got some irrigation pipes. He's got 4 of them. Cut them so they're sticking out the soil by a few inches. Put them into the soil, and then got just some blue like plumbing pipe, like the bendy pipe you can get, and put it in. So it linked it up over, so it's like a dome. Depending on how big your raised bed is, depending on how many of these you have in, the average one will have about 2, one on each side. And then you get some netting and put that over the top. So it's a really easy way to cover your raised bed. And obviously, I've got this cloche, which was £1 from Poundland. And again, I'm hoping similar sort of idea with that. And then I can just replace the poly cover with netting if I don't need a. Yeah, you've seen his videos, yeah. He does some really good videos on. He's got a series called how to grow a ton of, So Barbara's allotment saying she's done similar on her raised beds. Yeah. Does it work? Is it a good method, do you think? Because it seems quite good. I can't imagine it's very sturdy, but it seems quite good, and it should stop my dog Poppy from going on top of them and digging. So, I'm going to try. But as for the cloche, I just thought if I can start my plants even just a few weeks earlier, that few weeks is quite crucial, and then I can get some slightly earlier harvested. Oh yeah, so you're saying it is very good and sturdy. Okay, that's good. So if I end up building something else with the pallet wood, and I don't build a raised bed at the pallet wood, then I will be building. No, I will be buying another raised bed, but I'll be spending a bit more money on it this time, and I'll get a bit of I'll get a longer raised bed, but also a higher one, so it's sort of up to my waist. And if I build one, then I'll build it up to my waist anyway. Because that lower raised bed, to be fair, when I bought it, the measurements did imply that it would be up to my waist, because it said it was like, I think it was like 3 or 4 foot high, but that's not what I got. But it's fine because it was really cheap. It was £18 for the raised bed, which is very good price. So I didn't complain because I was still happy with it. I think because I got it off of eBay, they probably had that for a different thing they were selling and then relisted it, but didn't change the information, which is what happens quite frequently. So Barbara's allotment's asking, what can you sow? Good question. I'm trying to think what I'm going to be sowing soon. I had some packets of seeds. I think they're outside actually. I don't know. I can't think what I've got outside to sow. Do you want flowers or vegetables? That's the thing. That's the main thing. Is what are you trying to sow? Is it flowers or vegetables that you want to sow? I think the dog's outside. 2 minutes. Bill? What? Thought I heard them walking around, but obviously not. Bill? Pop, come on. Come into the stream. Hello. Good dogs. Good girl. Good boy. Poppy or Bill, come up. Oh, there we go. We got Poppy and Bill. So what can you sow in July? So for vegetables. Okay. Beans, peas and beans. There are some that you can sow, I know. But I've actually got a chart next to me. Oh, I'm gonna have to turn it over a minute because it only goes to June on this side. 2 minutes. I think I've got the other bit should tell me. This is a really useful guide. I got it from the Grow Your Own magazine, and I found that it is accurate. Sorry about this. But I can tell you exactly what you can sow then from this in July. Because like I said, it is accurate. I've sown all of my stuff according to this year. Obviously just double check with seed packets, but it gives you an idea of what things you can go out to buy. Okay, right. Stick it back on the wall. So for July, things you can sow: beetroot, carrots, lettuce, radishes, summer and winter, Swiss chard and leaf beet, broccoli, and cabbage. They're all the things you can sow. And after that, I think in August you can sow radishes again, lettuce, spinach, and cabbage. There are actually some things you can sow in October and November, but other than that, there's not really much after that. So unfortunately, these will be your last few sowings now, really, which is a shame. Yeah, there aren't really any things after that are new other than broad beans in October and November. So that's a real shame because this year has gone really quick so far. It feels like literally only last week it was, well, unless you have a polytunnel, yeah. But even then, you don't get that much extra time, do you, Rachel? Or because obviously I've got the greenhouse, but even then I apply, I sort of apply it to the rules. Yeah, I don't tend to break the rules. Well, not the rules, but the advice, because I've lost that many seeds and stuff. Oh, so you're going for all year round. Wow. So in your polytunnel, was it heated then? In your polytunnel? And do you reckon I could get away with doing a similar thing in my greenhouse? Because the greenhouse will be quite cold in the morning when I go in there. I remember it is pretty cold actually. Or is it just polytunnels that are like that? In which case, I can't wait till I get mine put up. And I'm hoping, but I don't think it's going to happen anymore. But I was hoping it would be set up this year. But it's looking now that it might not be this year. Okay, so Barbara's allotment is saying she's going to sow carrots and broccoli and cabbage. Yeah, I've just sown another lot of carrots, because all of mine had a little insect that had burrowed into all of them. Every single one I harvested. I was really mad about it because I was looking forward to having them. I might just drink the rest of this just to prove Jim Bob wrong. I don't know if you're still here, Jim, but if you are, I'm going to drink the rest of this in this live stream just to prove you wrong. Don't know how many liters this is. It doesn't actually say. Oh, 2.2 liters. In which case, I would have drank 2.2 liters in about 1.5 hours. So Rachel Jane's allotment saying that she's sowing Steve's Seaside allotment. He's made available his seed sowing database. So she's going to try it this year through winter, just using frost fleece to cover things. So do you use frost fleece then for seedlings as well, I'm assuming? Because I got loads of, well, I say I got loads. I got 4 big packets of it last year for £1 each in a church sale thing, which was good because they were like a good quality one as well that would normally be sold for about £4 or £5 a packet. Never heard of him. I'll have to go watch it. Is he on YouTube, I'm assuming, or is he on Facebook? You okay, Bilbo? I think Bilbo thinks that the floor's like grass. I don't know if anybody else has told you that, but when they're on like grass outside, they sort of like roll around on their back, and then they come indoors and they do the exact same thing. And then you talk to them and they sort of lie there, a bit embarrassed, like, oh no. Come here, Bill. Come here. Hello. Poppy's going to probably start barking now. Oh no. She's just going to walk under the desk. Hello. Come here then. Come on. Come on. What are you doing? So Rachel Jane's allotment saying most winter stuff is started in August to September. All right, thank you. Oh, God. Dogs are literally knocking everything over. Good boy, Bill. We've been going for an hour and 20 minutes now. We've got 5 people here, 12 likes. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. You okay? Yeah, please, Rachel. That'd be brilliant, please. If you could. Run away, Bill. Go on, go down. Good boy. Thank you. I'll check that out after the stream. I'll just copy. I'll just copy it in a minute. Here we go. Copy link. There we go. Thank you. Oh, raised bed covers. I'll have to have a look at that then, because I quite like raised beds. So Green Raven saying that she planted 2 turnips from the grocery store that sprouted. Saved the seed, and we'll try planting at end of summer. That's a good idea. Saving seed from stuff like that. I've tried that with garlic, but I recently saw a video made by somebody in this YouTube community group. I think it was Erica's Little Welsh Garden who said not to do that because that garlic from a shop never does as well. So I'll buy some proper ones at some point. There we go. So I proved Jim Bob wrong. I finished this entire bottle because I filled it up right to the top in an hour and 22 minutes. So earlier when he came on and said that the water was too big, I've now proved him wrong. So I think I'll go to 1 hour and maybe 30 or 1 hour 25, something like that. And then I'll sort of head off. So any last sort of things people want to say, now's the chance. And thank you to everybody who has come along, because I really appreciate the support. My feed on here is slightly behind, so if I am late to respond to any of your comments, it's just because the feed that I get is slightly behind. It's ever so quicker on my phone. Ever so slightly quicker on my phone, sorry. Oh, there we go. So Green Raven saying that her organic garlic sprouted but did not grow. Grocery garlic grew better, but neither gave me bulbs. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, I think it's Erica who said that. Erica from Erica's Little Welsh Garden, something like that it's called. Yeah, Erica's Little Welsh Garden. She said to buy proper ones. Yeah, thank you, Barbara. Really appreciate it, and you take care as well. Everybody hope you have a great day. Thank you all for coming along. Everybody who's here. The flower. Yes, I was thinking. Just remembered that. Yeah. So the shower is temporarily fixed. That's good. So what did you actually do yesterday? Did you saw through it while watching the stream? It is easy to do that. I had a saw bench up in my chicken pen ages ago, and I was sawing some wood, and I got carried away by something. I can't even remember what it was now. I think I was just staring at. I had like a little campfire there, I was sort of just looking at the flames, and I cut right through. Well, I'd almost cut right through this bench while I was distracted. So it is easily done. Yeah, I'm glad your shower is temporarily fixed. Oh, you're trying to remove a valve. I see. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you whenever I do a live again. I probably won't do a live for a little while now because obviously Saturday evening I was on Monty's live. Yesterday or last night I was doing a live. Today I've done a live, so won't do a live for a day or two now. Purely because I've just done so many for a while and I've got quite a lot of garden work to catch up on. But that's it for now. Thank you very much for everybody who came along. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.